right, joining me via Zoom for the second straight week. Got a lot of great feedback last week on the interview with the now Big East champion, Hassan Diarra. Hassan, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm great. How are you, Aaron?
I'm great. We have a lot to get into. You are a Big East champion, which is incredibly, I think people forget this, something that UConn could not say last year. Really excited to talk to you, Hassan. There's a lot of stuff that we got to get to here over the next couple of minutes, but I also do have a little bit of an exciting announcement, and that is that this interview, which we will be doing from now until the end of the UConn season, it's brought to you by Shea's Pizzeria and Sportsbar, 103 Tolland Turnpike in Manchester, Connecticut. Shea's, come for the food, stay for the fun. So, Hassan, here's the deal. You guys just finished your regular season tour at home, Gamble, Hartford. You're on the road, Marquette, Providence, Big East tournament, NCAA tournament. If you're a UConn fan that cannot travel with the Huskies, go ahead, go to Shea's Pizzeria and Sports Bar. Again, 103 Tolland Turnpike in Manchester, Connecticut. Great food, TVs, all the big games. Run by Jack, who's a diehard UConn fan, season ticket holder right behind the visitors' bench. He was out there heckling Seton Hall on Sunday afternoon. I'm just kidding, Jack. But Shea's Pizzeria and Sports Bar, they're
I think I
awesome.
heard him.
Did you
I
hear?
think I heard him.
Okay. I will
I
tell
think I heard
Jack
him.
after we get off air that you heard him heckling Seton Hall. They have live music, by the way, this coming Friday. Top Cheddar will be there March 8th. The Leftovers March 9th. Showtimes at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Shea's Pizzeria and Sports Bar. Come for the food, stay for the fun. 103 Tolland Turnpike in Manchester, Connecticut. So you heard Jack. Let me ask you this. As somebody who was not at Gamble on Sunday, Big East championship on the line, you're going to have a little bit of, you've at least split it because of the Marquette result on Saturday. But tell us what it was like all day Sunday, lead up to the game, and then once that thing tipped off at noon Eastern.
I mean, Sunday was just truly amazing. The experience, it was senior night. A little bit emotional, but it was really, 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 really fun. The energy was there. I think we played a really, really good game. We were focused mentally, physically, and I think we got the result we wanted.
Let
Cutting
me,
down the nets. It was,
yeah.
it was truly amazing.
Let me ask you. So a couple things. One, you obviously, I know you're preparing for this game. You're doing your own thing on Saturday, but Marquette obviously losing on Saturday opens up the door for you guys to clinch at home. I mean, was that something you guys talked about? Because to win a Big East regular season champion in front of those fans, Gamble Pavilion senior night, I mean, that's basically like the stuff dreams are made of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. We understood, with Marquette losing, we had a big opportunity. It wasn't much talked about. We just had the same approach as we did for all the other games. Like I said, we were mentally and physically ready from the week off. And I think we had a really good week of practice. I mean, we got some really good days in, and we also got our rest. So we were full of energy. We were energetic, and the UConn Nation showed out for us, and we appreciate them.
Well, I know you guys were full of energy because your coach was showing up at the bar after the game, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. In a little bit. Real quick, I think we left off last week, and you guys were going into this week off. How was the week off going into Seton Hall? Because one, like you said, you want to rest, you want to relax, you want to get off your feet, do your treatments, all that stuff. But I also feel like this time of year, you got to be itching to get back on the court. You're seeing teams win, you're seeing teams lose. How was that week off from the relaxation perspective, but also from like the itching to get back on the court perspective?
Yeah, it was great. I think we had a good balance of getting the work in, getting better at what we need to do, um, fixing our holes in our games, but also finding a way to rest, get the treatments, watch the film, break it down, and just overall grow as a team.
Very good. Sunday, of course, you guys win the Big East regular season title. When did you guys, listen, you're so locked in, but obviously the game, you guys were in complete control for most of the game, frankly, but certainly the second half. I mean, when does it become the balance of you're focused on the task at hand, but almost that you can take a deep breath and savor the moment? It's funny. I was on the sidelines last year when you guys clinched against San Diego State, and what was great about that, if I would assume being part of it, is it wasn't down to the final play. It wasn't down to the final second. Is that you had a moment to just like take a deep breath, probably look around NRG Stadium last spring in Houston and say, wow, we're really doing this. Did you have that moment yesterday, Sunday, with that Big East championship? Because again, with respect to Seton Hall, it was seemingly in hand, pretty, with time left on the clock.
Yeah, you like me. I was locked in all the way through, and then when I finally got subbed out the game, like the last 4 minutes left, maybe a little bit under that, is when I took it in. You know what I mean? Got a chance to hug everybody that was on the bench. Got a chance to hug the seniors that are leaving with me. Coming in with Tristan, it was very, very emotional, and it was a moment for us to take it all in and understand. We didn't win a couple championships the last 2 years.
That's what I was going to ask you, is that it feels like, again, we have a lot of UConn fans that are listening that know this, but we have some non-UConn fans that are listening. And I think if you're not a UConn fan, it's easy to forget. What was it, fourth or fifth place in the regular season last year? Great success in the postseason, whatever. Let me ask you this. Like, I mean, is this something you guys been talking about day one? Hey, we took care of business in March, but we didn't take care of our own backyard. Like, was that a conversation the second you guys got together in the spring and summer and certainly for fall practices?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like last year we left a lot on the table. We dropped a lot of games that we probably shouldn't have in the Big East. So this year we came in with a different mentality of attacking the Big East and trying to be successful, way more successful than we were last year. And I think we did a good job of it. But we still have the Big East tournament that we have to lock in on and really take advantage of our opportunities and win it there.
After the game, you took the mic and you said, you did the UConn cheers, but then you said we're not done yet. What was going through your mind when you said that?
When I grabbed the mic, I always wanted to do that, but I guess I never got a chance to say that was my opportunity. But yeah, we're not done yet. We have the Big East tournament championship. We have the whatever region we're in the NCAA tournament championship, and then we have hopefully the Final Four championship. So we got a lot of season left, and we understand the postseason is the meat of the plate. So we're ready for it.
How do you find that balance and you being a leader of the team of, you want to sell, like we hear in sports all the time, that 24-hour rule, take 24 hours, enjoy this, but move on. How do you find the balance? And especially with the younger guys too, of appreciating the moment, appreciating that this was 9 months worth of hard work. It didn't happen overnight. It's not just a whatever, but also understanding, like you just said, we still got a lot of important games left ahead of us.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think we just follow coach's lead. Coach tell us like, enjoy this for the next 6 hours. Enjoy this for the next 6 hours, but tomorrow we'll get back to work. We'll break down the film. We'll get back into practice. We'll work on our game. So we just follow coach's lead, and he's a great leader. And it's so easy when you have a leader like that.
Well, that was something, I noticed from a distance as well is, I've heard him, and I was at the Kansas game, which obviously was not a game that went the way you guys wanted, but I just bring it up because, he said after the game, like, somebody asked him something to the effect of, we know you don't want to put too much into this loss, coach, or, I think he said, the quote was, we know you don't want to get too high or too low. And it was a respectful question, but coach cut him off respectfully and said, oh, we're going to get low. We don't accept losing around here. And that really stuck with me. But it also stuck with me that it did feel like, sometimes coaches will say, hey, the ultimate prize is in March, that last weekend of the season, playing on Monday night. But it feels like he did let you guys, hey, cut down the nets, stay with the fans, give a speech, do the cheer that you've always wanted to do, Hassan. And it feels like it feels like some coaches, they would say the journey isn't done, whatever. It felt like he let you guys and he himself, which again we'll talk about here momentarily, enjoyed Sunday. Just basically, he let you guys enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think he understands, just like we understand. Winning the Big East is a really, really good accomplishment. I mean, it's a tough league, probably top two, if not the best league in the country. And there's tons of teams. It's a tough league, so to win the regular season is a really good accomplishment, and I think he understood that. And we had our moment for it.
All right. You said you follow his lead. Did you know that he was going to Ted's after the game? So you and I were texting trying to set up this interview. You said, man, I'm trying to figure out my schedule. I'll let you know ASAP. And I don't think you figured out your schedule because Coach was up on, he was taking body shots at Ted's. First of all, for people who have never been to Ted's, and I know you don't frequent there. You're an athlete. You take care of your body, all that stuff. But for people who have never been to stores, give us a quick explanation of what the full Ted's experience is like.
Yeah, I mean, Ted's is a bar where a lot of the students go on the weekends. It's probably one of like three bars on campus. It's literally attached to campus, so it's hard to miss. But yeah, coach went in there after the game, and honestly, we didn't even know. Uh, we just got a text. I think Donovan texted in the chat like, "Yo, coach is at test right now." Everybody's like, "Whoa!" Then I go on Twitter, I see the video of him and Ted, and everybody celebrating with him. So it was pretty cool. Just goes to show what kind of guy coach is. I mean, he's a very very strict and tough guy and tough coach and a great coach, but he also has a fun side and can let loose sometimes.
Well, he definitely, if he told you guys 6 hours, he took full advantage of that 6 hours. I'll tell you that much. Real quick, looking ahead to this week, man, listen, I know you celebrate the Big East title, but as you said a minute ago, you want to move on. Tell us a little bit about it's early in the Marquette prep, but listen, this is last year's Big East champ. They had what you want. You took it, but obviously just because you have that Big East. By the way, how cool was it? I should just ask, like, I think we talked about it earlier, but getting on that ladder, cutting down those nets. You guys had the opportunity to do it in Houston last year, but again, I feel like it's different in front of your fans, and I feel like it's different because that's a season's worth of work, not just from a national perspective, but also from the local perspective of these teams all know you. A lot of them had success against you last year. How cool was that moment for you guys to get up on that ladder, cut down the nets, and again, for you and others to kind of give that speech?
Yeah, I mean it was extremely cool. Last year when I cut down the nets, I wasn't a professional at it. I didn't know what net to cut, and
Okay.
I was cutting it too little, and it
So what's
didn't.
the secret to
I
net cutting? We need. None of us are going to get to do it.
I
I know
try
I'm
to
not going to.
I try to get the longest piece possible, honestly. And I think I did that yesterday, and everybody was like, "Yo, how's what you doing?" I said, "Yeah, man, I gotta have the longest net." But I mean, it was just astounding, man. Extremely blessed to do it in front of the UConn nation, and I'm glad they got a chance to experience it with us.
Very good. Like I said, moving ahead, Marquette on Wednesday. Again, balance of you enjoyed Sunday, maybe into Monday, but you still got 2 games left on the regular season before you go to New York. How do you kind of focus on, or not focus, but how do you get the guys and help the guys get the task back on hand?
I mean, yeah, just understanding that I mean, the job is not finished. Just like Kobe said, we have business to take care of on the road at some two very, very tough environments. And they want to beat us. You know what I mean? We have a team that we beat early in the season pretty well. And then another team where they're fighting for their NCAA tournament hopes. So we have to be prepared. We have to be ready, and we're gonna get right to work in like an hour or so.
Yeah, we'll get you out of here in a couple quick questions. Real quick, first of all, you're an older guy, you've been through this, but how do you let the younger guys know that, hey, we put it on them pretty good this last time, but they've been thinking about that for the last 3 weeks. And that team that we saw in Hartford, with respect to how well we played, we're going to see a different team when they walk out of that tunnel on Wednesday night in Milwaukee.
I think it's kind of self-explanatory. I think the young guys already know, we played very well, and they didn't play their best in the Excel Center. But we're gonna get every team's best shot, especially when we play on the road. The environment's gonna be crazy, and we have to be prepared for it. And I think we're working towards it, and they've been through it. They've played so many games this far, and they're early sophomores now. If you ask me, they've grown so much, they've matured so much. So credit to them. They're doing a great job, and they just have to continue to get better and better.
You mentioned, they're young sophomores. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. I'm not asking you to break any news here, but you went through senior day. Unless I've misread stuff, I think you have another year of eligibility. Have you taken time to consider that? I think you could come back to UConn. You could come back to UConn for another year if you wanted to, right?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely could come back to UConn if I wanted to. I'm not. I haven't really gave it a thought on what I'm going to do. Haven't spoke to coach or anything. So I'm just me trying to finish the season out very strong on a high note. Win a couple more championships and cut down some more nets.
Well, you're the expert on cutting down nets at this point. So, yeah, I was just curious. Yeah, I was curious because you mentioned going through senior day with all the guys and stuff. Real quick, for those of us who haven't been around the team, you mentioned your relationship with Tristan. You guys come in together. He's playing at an All-American level, maybe Big East Player of the Year level. Um, I was around him a little bit the Final Four last year. I'm not going to claim to know him well. He seems very quiet off the court, but on the court, he speaks for himself. I mean, tell us a little bit about what he's done this season, what it's been like to be around him, all that stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's playing at an All American level. He's probably has one of the greatest 2 year runs in UConn history
No
as
doubt.
as starting point guard here. What he's done though, he's put in the work each and every day. Competing against him each and every day, he brings it. He's ultra talented. He has ton of size and he's one of the smartest basketball players that I've ever played.
Hmm.
That kid, he's like a genius with the ball in his hands, and he understands the X's and O's of it, the ins and outs of it, and I've learned a lot from him actually.
Really?
So I mean, it's been great. It's been great, the last 2 years with him, and just what he's done is truly remarkable.
That's interesting. What do you feel like you've learned from him?
Just the pace of what you play at, where you play at, and knowing when to attack and when to dish it out, and the timing of everything. I think the timing of everything, I've learned a lot from him.
Very good. I'll let you out of here on a couple things. One, first of all, I went give us the headband deal again, and then I went online last week and it looked like you guys were sold out. Is that right? And if so, are you guys back in stock anytime soon?
Yeah, we might have been sold out a little bit. I've been getting a lot of orders, but yeah, we'll be back in stock this week. Like I said, 22threads.com/Hassan Diarra or Headband Haas. My merch will be up there. But I know a lot of people want the headbands, so we're gonna get more of those out. But don't worry about it. I got you.
Okay. Headband Haas. Is it headbandhaas.com? I know you said 22threads.com/Hassan Diarra. So the
Yeah.
threads, yeah, okay. I think that's it. I think that's all we got for you. What do you got? So you said you got practice coming up here these next couple minutes?
Yeah, we got film. We lift and then we'll practice and then
Real
have film again.
real quick, are you in the film room right now? Can you show? I see the little
Yeah,
Connecticut.
this
Go
this is the
give
film
America a
room
tour.
right here.
Okay,
It's nice, man. It's a good
it
deal right here.
it is. Long before it says something. Long before something. Bright lights. I don't know what it says. Long before something under those lights. So Hassan Diarra, I'm gonna let you go because you got more championships to win, like you said, and I can't take up any more of your time. I I appreciate it. We will talk next week. Thank you to Shea's Pizzeria and Sports Bar. But man, dude, I'm enjoying this, man. I can't wait to do it next week. Best of luck this week, and we will talk to you before the Big East tournament. Can you believe Big? I'm not trying to extend this conversation because I know you got to go, but I cannot believe next week is Big East tournament conference. It's just crazy how fast the season went by.
Yeah, man. Time flies, man. Appreciate you having me on here. Let's do it again next week.
All right, that is Hassan Diarra, UConn star, Big East champion, and we will be back next week.